Yeah.
Andy Fung from the community asks, are there any other prominent platforms currently doing what ARTRACX is trying to do? So perhaps share a little bit about the competitive landscape and how we set ourselves apart.
So there are quite a few online marketplace for traditional art. Like these are quite global as well. They are running already, and they're running typically just like a eBay kind of auction. Ricky is laughing or smiling. Have you? Obviously, a few of these like come to mind is like Saatchi Art, Invaluables. In China, there's another one called Artron. These are all fairly sizable, and they're picking up ground. And generally, there are transactions, there are listings, there are exposure for listings as well. I was told by some artists that they always want to list themselves as Saatchi artists to get exposure, but they don't necessarily get a lot of arts being sold, right? So the way that we see ourselves is, first of all, we've been doing charity auction for the last 10 years in Hong Kong, Singapore, sometimes in Shenzhen and Shanghai. So our vision, first of all, is to unlock this open heart charity auction to become even more impactful around the world. So in a way, we are trying to turn it around, turn the open heart around. Like we used to charge money for our open heart services. Instead, what we are trying to do now is if these charity organizations, say if they're in Sydney or they're in Toronto, they're willing to use our platform, and usually they have to pay us a fee, right? Instead of paying us fees, what I'm doing now is the value proposition is to ask them to pick items, pick artwork from our listings, from the artists that list with us, right? So the idea is to obviously to create this global kind of impact, because charity auctions has always been around. Like we've done it for 10 years. We know that it's going to continue for sure, right? Meaning there are collectors, there are buyers, and there are always artists that also want to be presented. So if we run it slightly differently, and this is the answer Andy's question, is there are other marketplaces, but they don't do it what we do, first of all, with the offline auctions. Secondly, what our notion is because of the tracking and tracing technology that we offer, being the chipsets and the these are the samples that we are shipping soon. I'll put it here. It means that for reprints and originals, we can find a way to secure it, right, and authenticate its authenticity. By doing that, it means that even if it is cross-border trade, if it's being traded from A person, A collector to B collector, that could be actually authenticated, then there is a possibility for us to calculate that recurring royalty that we mentioned. Ricky, I think you're nodding your head. If the system can track the end-to-end sale, then we can actually always have a recurring royalty if there's an increase in value of that art piece, right? Currently, none of these kind of other platform in marketplace, so to speak, none of them actually offers that. The closest resemblance is the recent kind of NFT art marketplace, because it's all things are digital. The transactions being end to end is completed by digital means, right? So in the real physical world, where if we believe it's going to stay forever, we believe that the chipsets and the ability to track, trace, and trade, it's becoming important. So, I mean, we've got lots of things to do ahead of us in our business roadmap. But I think the first thing that we're excited is first we launch this first, and then we work on the recurring royalty, the smart contract, some of the details that needs to work with real practitioners like you guys.